Welcome to PelviBiz podcast. I'm Dr. Kelly Alhooie. I've grown my pelvic health practice, orthopelvic physical therapy, and now I'm helping pelvic health professionals do the same. Each week, I give you the knowledge you need to grow your practice. Let's get into today's episode.
Hey PelviBiz podcast listeners. This is Hannah, content producer of the PelviBiz podcast. I'd like to start today's show with a shout out to our show sponsor, Jane. Jane is a payment management software with a fully integrated PCI compliant payment solution called Jane Payments, designed to manage all of your payment needs. The team at Jane knows that every practice is unique, and that means your payment needs are unique too. With that in mind, the team at Jane has created a payment personality quiz to identify how Jane Payments can help you save time and get paid faster. It only takes a few minutes to fill out, and the results of the quiz will help you decide whether online payments are the best way to go or if a terminal is helpful for you based on how you practice. You can take the quiz at jane.app/payments. Don't forget, listeners, you can use the code PelviBiz1mil at jane.app/start for a 1-month grace period on your new Jane account. Now let's get started with today's show.
Today, I'm going to be talking about what my mastermind weekend was like. I did not host this mastermind. It was with my coach, Greg Todd. We went to North Georgia. I'm from Georgia, so I got to go hang out with my parents before headed up there. So that was cool. But we got to hang out in the mountains and we got to sit around and talk about our problems. And the best thing I like about Mastermind is that all of us are entrepreneurs. We can all relate to each other in the fact that we have big problems and we solve big problems throughout the day, and it can be lonely. And so it's nice to connect with other people that just get it. You cannot explain to your friend that isn't an entrepreneur of what it's like to be an entrepreneur. They just don't deal with 40,000 problems a day. It's just different. And so when you're around people that you can really relate to, there's just magic to be had in that. And so I wish that for every single person listening to this, that if you don't have that support group and you're building something and you just don't have that support, you must, and I'm going to say it again, you must have that support. It is massively impactful to move your business, yourself, to have growth. You have to have people around you that are entrepreneur like you to actually understand the importance of having that community so that you can continue to grow and progress yourself on all aspects of life. So I think that's number one. I think the best part about masterminds is we all can sit at dinner and talk, and afterwards at night, we, geek out on making funnels and chat GPT and all the things. And it's just really fun to have a mastermind that everyone brings something to the table. So I think that's the second part of this is when you're building masterminds, you really want to make sure that everyone in the mastermind is contributing to the group. So is someone bringing how to know social media better? Is someone bringing how to use ChatGPT better? Is someone bringing how to you make funnels better? Like, what is it that makes up the mastermind that makes it that much more valuable? I think that's massive. Also, just support from each other, that if you have questions that need to be answered, that you're able to rely on your mastermind to get your problem solved. So I think that's pretty cool. What I learned in Mastermind was everyone needs a value ladder. So if you're listening to this, take notes on this, but we all need a value ladder. So what the heck is a value ladder? Well, a value ladder is something that basically starts out with something that's free and gets them to your highest paid offer. So for most of us physical therapists, our value ladder starts with free content on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the things. Also, another thing on a value ladder could be opt-ins at the lower level of that ladder. Opt-ins, like the next thing could be an ebook where maybe they pay nothing for that ebook, like it's free, or they pay like $5 for that ebook. The next thing on a ladder is they can either maybe go into a membership that's like $30 a month. You could have, and or the next thing could be they book a free consult call with you. That's, again, we're moving up the ladder here, okay? The next thing that's on the ladder is trying to get them to come in for a visit. So Can you get them scheduled for one visit to come in? And then the last thing I think on the platter is trying to get packages. So can you get them to commit to a package so they're committed to coming in for their care? So let me recap on that. It's free content on Instagram, Facebook, all the things. You can do an ebook. You can do a membership. You could do a free phone consultation. Then you can go to a visit, and then you can go to a package. That is a typical value ladder for pelvic health PTs. And you're going to want to ascend your patients up that ladder. And how you're going to get more leads is by having them coming in lower on the ladder and then moving them up the ladder. Once they start coming into your world, once they know you, like you, trust you, and all the things, then you can start moving them up. So even when you're talking to someone and communicating with them of like, hey, I'm just curious about your services, and they call you and you're like, great. Even when they're like, oh, you cost too much or whatever, before you get off the phone with them, saying, hey, is that okay if I follow up with you in 2 weeks to be able to, check in to see if your problem's been solved? And that's on a value ladder that no matter what, and whether or not they're paying me or not, I'm still providing value to them. I'm still checking on them. I know they got a problem. Whether or not they come into orthopelvic or not, like they got a problem. So that's something that every single one of you guys should be doing, is creating a value ladder. Also, another thing that I learned, email list and phone numbers are so valid. That is what evaluates your company on pretty much what your company is worth, is how many contacts you have, how many of those contacts are active. Other companies will see that and they'll be like, hey, I want to buy out your company for this amount just to get the contacts because your company is pretty active and these are my people. This is what I want. So they will come and buy your company, and that increases your evaluation. So the biggest thing that we all should be doing, which some of us, I think, forget about this sometimes, is what things can we put on social media to get people's contact information? Can we do opt-ins? Can we do ebooks? Can we do memberships? Can we just say, hey, put your information here if you would like to know more about this program I have coming up or this challenge I have coming up? What are we doing daily to collect contacts? That is massively important. So I want you guys to think about that. I think that was a big lesson. And then another lesson I learned, which may be kind of off topic here, but another one was I was thinking about just my own journey of why it feels that I've been moving quickly and been able to move quickly and make moves. And I think the biggest thing is that I don't really have an ego. And you're probably like, what? Kelly, this is so random. Welcome to Mastermind. They provoke all these random thoughts, okay? But I don't really have an ego. Now, most of us have ego, sure, but like, I don't really have an ego in the fact of I want to be on TV or I want to be in a magazine or I want this recognition for being the best pelvic health therapist. I just don't want that. I've already kind of gotten past that phase of like, an ego to me is nothing. It doesn't matter. This is why, I dress at my house in like, these crazy sweatpants and sweatshirts, and I just don't care what I look like. This is why I can put my face on camera, even with the staph infection all over my face. I don't have an ego that I have to uphold to be like prestigious and always look cute. That's not the game I like to play, because I just know that that's not truly authentically me, if that makes sense. But what I do know is I have a massive mission to help women. And it stems from how much my mom struggled with us 3 kids growing up, as, when we were growing up, as she had to take care of us 3 kids throughout our whole entire life. And I just saw how much the struggle was. And I just knew to myself, I don't want to be in this position. And I was in that position when I got out of PT school, working 3 to 4 jobs, just pay rent, pay my student loans, all that kind of stuff. And it was horrible. I did that for 8 years. And it was like history's repeating itself. And then when I got out of that and I figured out the path that no one taught us, I was like, I can empower every single woman to not have to deal with my mom went through, to not have to deal with I went through. And like, that's the mission. So there is no ego. My point is there is no ego to it. It's just massively ingrained in me that I just want to make an impact. And it's more about the impact and how can I reach the masses? Like that's literally it, is how can I make a difference in this world and help women? And I think because of that, I've been able to stay focused on the mission because I'm very clear. So I've just had, really one coach to help coach me. And I'm saying that all to you because hang out with many of your colleagues, many of them want to subscribe and get all this free content from this person and get free content from this person and get free content from this person and this person. And it just, I think it confuses the crap out of them. And then when people are confused, no one moves forward. So if you're listening right now and you're like, yeah, I just subscribed to this email from this coach and I just subscribed to this business coach and this business coach and this person, and all you're doing, literally all you're doing is just making yourself more overwhelmed. And you know what that does? When you're more overwhelmed, do you think you take action? You don't take action. And this are my thoughts of like why I've been able to go and move quickly, because I had one coach, one direction. I wasn't trying to start a book, start a podcast, start a membership. I was just trying to build a client. That's it. I was highly focused on one thing. I had one person in my ears telling me what to do, and I just stayed the path. But most people will go and they will pay other people besides the one coach that they have because they think that they're missing out on something or that they need more information about something. But the reality is it just overwhelms the crap out of them and they don't do anything at all. And they're like, oh, I'm just so overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. Well, what you need to do is think about what's the number one thing that is going to move your business forward. And if you're like, I don't even know the answer to that. Well, great. What you're going to do is take out a piece of paper right now and you're going to write down every single thing that you think that you need to do right now. And you're going to just dump it on the piece of paper. Like any thought that comes to your head, write it out. And that activity alone, just writing it out and getting it on the paper, will help your brain think better. Okay. Then what you're going to do is take that piece of paper and you're going to circle what is going to move the business forward. What do you believe is going to move your business forward? So if I wrote down, I had a whole list, and on that list, it's like, I need to go to more CrossFit gyms and do workshops. Okay, great. I know that when I do, because I've audited this, when I do a CrossFit workshop, I'm going to get anywhere between 5 to 10 new potential clients coming in my door. Compared to if I go visit this doctor's office, I'm probably not going to get as many connecting points into that doctor's office or leads because the doctor then has to connect with the patient. The patient then has to, come into the office. It's a 2 touch point rather than gym. I go directly to the person and then they come into the office. So if I'm like, man, my problem is I need to get more clients, then what is one thing that I can do this day that is going to give me clients? Do a workshop. So then that's going to be a high priority on my list that I'm overwhelmed by. That's what I'm going to stay focused on. And then you just got to do the thing. Don't overthink it. Don't think what CrossFit gym's not going to hate me for going to this other CrossFit gym. Like, who are you going to go to? Okay, great. Just go set up a meeting with them. Get in there as fast as you possibly can. And do the thing. Don't think about it too much. And then I go in there and I do it. I just take action on it. And the people that take action are the ones that get things going. They're not waiting on anyone. They're not making excuses. They're not trying to find the next coach to give them the next unlocked secret. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Just stay focused. Ask the right questions. And that's the other thing. Ask the right questions to your coaches, guys, if you have them. If not, you seriously need to hire a coach. And clearly it does not have to be me, it can be anyone, I don't care. But just get a coach because they will get you there 2 times faster than what you could do yourself. And, that's why you got to invest in yourself. The best investment is in yourself. So, I think it's just very interesting that I just think so many people think they need more information and they don't. They just need to stay focused, believe in themselves, and then take action and believe in whoever they hired on to do the thing. So I don't know. These are just random thoughts. It's probably not what you thought I was going to say for this week of what I've learned in Mastermind, but these are the thoughts that have come out of Mastermind for me. So hopefully you guys learn something. The moral of the story is invest in yourself, create a value ladder for you and your company, knowing that anyone that comes into your world, that there is something that they're going to ascend on, and they're not just going to come in and then go bye-bye. So those are the 2 big things.
I consider myself a business and life coach. Are you ready to live the life of your dreams as an entrepreneur? If so, let's chat. See the episode notes below and go ahead and book a call. See you all next week.